Last week, I spent 10 minutes trying to explain the Lightning Network to a Bitcoin-curious friend of mine. As I eloquently discussed the nuances of the second layer of Bitcoin technology and how payment channels work, I watched their eyes glaze over as they regretted asking the question. That's when I realized we need Bitcoin Lightning wallets that just work. The Lightning Network was developed to solve Bitcoin's scalability problem, enabling instant transactions with fees as low as 1 sat. Perfect for that $5 cup of coffee purchase. But as millions of users discovered Lightning, they face a frustrating dilemma. The wallets that are easy to use require you to give up custody of your Bitcoin, while the secure self-custody options are complicated and intimidating. What if I told you that I found a Bitcoin Lightning wallet that refuses to make this compromise? Well, I did. It's called Muun Wallet. Muun Wallet is a self-custodial Bitcoin Lightning wallet that makes using the Lightning Network super simple. It combines the security of keeping your own keys and control of your Bitcoin with an interface anybody can understand. Could this wallet serve as your one and only mobile Bitcoin wallet? Let's find out. Hey, Bitcoin enthusiasts, welcome back to Sovereign Money. Today we're exploring what might be the most user-friendly Bitcoin Lightning wallet available, the Muun Wallet. This wallet is a great option for Bitcoin newbies and seasoned maxis alike. It combines the security of a non-custodial approach with the simplicity needed for everyday use. I've been using it for a long time, and I'm genuinely impressed with how they've solved some of the most challenging problems with Bitcoin wallet design. Before we get into the Muun Wallet specifically, let's look at why Lightning Network compatibility matters so much. The Lightning Network continues to see dramatic growth over the last few years. Recent data shows Lightning Network transactions increased over 1,200% from 2021 to 2023, with an estimated 6.6 million transactions routed in August of 2023 alone. And I know that's a few years ago, but I don't think the growth has stopped. Also, the percentage of Bitcoin payments processed through Lightning has more than doubled on many payment processors, from roughly 6% to over 16% of overall payments. And the Lightning Network has a theoretical capacity for millions of transactions per second, with fees as low as 1 Satoshi compared to Bitcoin's main chain, which handles about 7 transactions per second, making it the perfect solution for point-of-sale payments. It's worth noting, though, the Lightning Network does have some practical limitations. While the protocol supports payments up to about 16.7 million sats, or 0.167 Bitcoin, successfully routing larger payments can be very challenging due to liquidity constraints across the network. Different Lightning services may also impose their own lower Lightning limits. This makes Lightning ideal for everyday purchases and micropayments, but larger transfers are typically better handled on the main chain. This second layer solution is no longer experimental. It's becoming essential infrastructure for Bitcoin's everyday use case. But for some users, setting up a Lightning wallet remains technical and confusing. Not to mention, most Lightning wallets require users to give up custody of their precious Bitcoin. What makes Muun Wallet different is their innovative security model combined with exceptional ease of use. The Muun Wallet is actually a 2 of 2 multisig wallet for normal operations. This means every regular transaction requires 2 signatures or 2 sets of keys, one on your phone and one hosted by Muun servers. This cooperative spending path gives you the convenience of instant transactions while maintaining security. However, you maintain true self-custody through an emergency kit produced by the wallet that uses a totally different recovery mechanism. It contains both keys in an encrypted form, allowing you to recover funds unilaterally without Muun's cooperation whenever you need to. This approach solves 3 critical security problems. 1, you can always spend your Bitcoin without permission from anyone else. 2, Muun can never spend your funds on its own. And 3, attackers face significant obstacles in an effort to steal your funds. Let's see how this works in practice. I'm going to show this demo on an iPhone, so head over to your App Store, download the application to your phone. It's MUUN. Go ahead and look for it in the App Store, and I will meet you at the application on my phone. Okay, here we are on my iPhone. You can see the Muun application is installed. There's the icon on the page. I'm going to open the application, and we are given a choice. It says Muun self-custodial wallet for Bitcoin and Lightning. We can recover an existing wallet if we had an old wallet and we lost our phone or we got a new phone, we can recover the old wallet using that. Or in our case, we're going to create a new wallet. So I'm going to click on that. Right away, we're asked to create a PIN. I'm going to create a PIN here and repeat it. Yes. Okay, you created a new wallet. That's it. That's how fast it is to create a wallet. Let's press Let's Go, and we are ready to receive Bitcoin. But there's a big warning in the middle of the page there. It says, back up your wallet. Create a backup to never lose access to your wallet. And we're going to do that in just a minute. I'm going to walk through some of the settings and menus of this wallet. On the bottom, there are 3 icons representing 3 different menu areas. The first on the left, of course, is the area we are right now. That's the wallet section. You can press the receive button in the middle to receive Bitcoin. Never miss a payment. Do we want notifications? Sure. And there we go. We have our first receiving address for Bitcoin. This one is a native SegWit. And if I click on address settings at the bottom, I can change that. If you look at address type down there, it says SegWit. I can change it to legacy or even Taproot if you want. At the top, it says Bitcoin and Lightning. So we have 2 choices in how to receive Bitcoin to this wallet. If we're using Lightning, we have a QR code, just a general code to receive to, or we can create what's called an invoice where we specify a specific amount of US dollars or Bitcoin to receive in the transaction. So if I click that, I can set an amount. Let's say I want to change it to dollars rather than Bitcoin. I'm going to click on that drop-down menu, change it to dollars. And let's say we want to create or receive $25. Can we confirm the amount? And there we go. Go ahead and send all your Bitcoin to that QR code. Thank you very much. And if we go back to the home page, there's also a send button, but of course there's no Bitcoin in this wallet. In the middle of the bottom, we have a security button. The wallet is not backed up. We're going to go through that just after I finish this tour. And on the lower right, we have the settings section. We want the Bitcoin unit to be either Bitcoin or Sats. Let's just leave it at Bitcoin. Main currency is US dollar, the Bitcoin network. We can default to Taproot for on-chain payments or native SegWit, whichever. And then the Lightning network, we can receive using the Bitcoin network first or Lightning first. I'm going to choose Lightning first. Let me show you those choices again. There's Bitcoin first. That is, when you open the wallet and press receive, it opens a Bitcoin address by default or a Lightning address by default. And then on the bottom, there's an experimental function where you have a unified QR code, which has a Bitcoin address in it and a Lightning address in one QR code. I'm going to leave that on Lightning. Turbo channels I'll discuss later, but basically it allows payments to be routed to your account much faster than they would have otherwise. Basically, I like to leave that enabled, but it does allow does create a minor security question, and I'm going to discuss that later. For now, let's go through the security settings. So we need to back up this wallet now that we've created it before we receive money. Backing up the wallet is easy. Step 1, step 2, step 3. We're going to go through that. It's not that simple, but it takes some time. Create recovery method in case you change your phone or reinstall Muun. In order to do that, you're going to have to give them an email address. I just make up a fake email address, and we're going to go through that right now. So I'm going to click 1. I don't want to use my email. If you don't want to, I'm going to press start, add an email. I'm going to go get an email address. I'll be right back. Okay, I have the email address on my clipboard, and I'm going to paste it in here. Confirm my email. Muun is going to send me a special link that will verify the email is mine, or at least that I control it. And I'm going to click that link. I'll be right back. Okay, here's the email that I received from Muun Wallet. It's a button right in the middle there that says verify your email. I'm going to click that. It takes me back to the wallet. And step 1 is almost done. Not quite. I have to enter a password. I'm going to paste a password in here and go create one right now. All right, I've pasted the password in. You can't see it for security reasons. And confirm the password again. I'll paste that in. And there we go. I need to verify these 2 things. I understand I will need my password and access to my email to recover the wallet in case I lose my phone, and understand that Muun can't reset my password if I forget. And press finish, and we are done with step 1. Step 2. This is where things get really neat, and this is part of what separates Muun Wallet from a lot of the other wallets. Let's go ahead and move forward on step 2 to create an alternative backup. It's going to give us a special code. I'm going to write that down. And this code is in that format. It's a bunch of letters and numbers. Press start. I'm going to write down this code. I'll be right back. Okay, it says use a pen and paper for security. Don't save this on your phone or in the cloud. I have this encrypted in a cloud service provider, so you can do whatever you prefer, but you need to keep this code secure, super secure. And then press the continue button. I need to verify the code. I'm going to type it in, and then I'm going to press confirm recovery code button, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've confirmed the recovery code. And again, I have to check these 2 boxes. I understand I will need my recovery code to recover my wallet. And I understand Muun doesn't keep a copy of my recovery code and it can't be changed. Done. Step 2 is done. Excellent. One more step, and that is to create what is called an emergency kit, which gives you instructions on how to recover your wallet. I'm going to create an emergency kit. It's one document, stored online, and gives me complete ownership of my funds. Create the emergency kit, and I'm going to save to iCloud. And that's it. Oh, I need to verify that it's there. I'm going to open an iCloud, and there it is. Done. And it even says created on May 22nd. So that is the emergency kit created and stored on iCloud. Press done and go back to the wallet. There we go. Then I can press done at the bottom, and the security setup is all finished. So we have a complete security setup giving us full access to our Bitcoin at all times without the permission of Muun, even though it's a multisig wallet and they hold one of the keys. Well, technically, we have both of the keys now, but they're in encrypted form on that emergency kit. What's particularly interesting from a technical perspective is that recovery code we got in step 2 isn't just a backup method. It actually functions as an encryption key, and that's why you need to keep it super secure. The PDF emergency kit contains your encrypted private keys, and the recovery code is what decrypts them. This clever approach means your emergency kit can be stored digitally, even in cloud storage, without compromising security, as long as you keep the recovery code safe and separate and preferably offline. This separation of encrypted data, in other words, your emergency kit, from the decryption key or the recovery code creates a robust security model that gives you both self-custody and recoverability. Also, this multi-layered approach gives you different recovery options depending on your situation. For everyday recovery like changing phones, the email and password work just fine. But for ultimate self-custody, the emergency kit combined with your recovery code gives you complete and total control, even if Muun were to disappear tomorrow. Now let's go ahead and look at a Lightning payment demo. I'm going to receive Bitcoin in the Muun wallet on the screen, and I'm going to send Bitcoin from a Muun wallet on another phone. And we're going to see how fast it is. All right, I'm going to set up the transaction on another device. If I can find the Muun Wallet app, here we go. And on the phone that you can see, I'm going to press the receive button, and I'm going to select Lightning. It's already selected because I set that as default. If you remember, I'm going to set an invoice. Actually, I'm going to try it without it. I'm just going to copy the address. In the Muun Wallet that you can see, I'm going to press receive, and it automatically defaults to a Lightning address. I'm going to just simply leave this alone for a minute. And I'm going to scan this QR code with the other phone. I'm going to press send on my other Muun wallet, and a little scanning window comes up that looks just like that. That's what it looks like on my other phone. And I'm going to scan the QR code that was on the screen. Here we go. There we go. And I'm going to set an amount to send to that wallet at $25 US. Confirm amount, write a note, and the note is going to say demo. Confirm note, send. Done. It's already there. You see that little message on the bottom of the screen. I didn't even have time to put my phone down and pick up the other one before it was already in the wallet. It is instantaneous, ridiculously fast. I am so impressed with these Lightning payments. It's crazy. So now we have $25 worth of Bitcoin in the wallet, which is great. And to send this Bitcoin out, we just do the same thing. We press send and we scan the QR code on the other phone. And I'm going to show you everything until I send it, because I'm not going to send this actually out on my other phone. I'm going to press receive, and it's going to generate a Lightning code. In order to send this Bitcoin out of this wallet, I would press send, scan the code, enter 25 or use all funds, and that's it. I can't send 25 out because there's a fee involved, and it looks like it's about 45 cents. Oh, let me check the fee on that other transaction actually. And yes, I'm going to cancel the payment. I don't know if it has the fee here. It doesn't. I'm going to check on the other phone and I'll let you know what the fee is. Incidentally, that's how you get to the transaction list. You slide that little arrow at the bottom of the screen up to get to the transaction list. I'm going to do that on my other account. And right here, it says network fee 4 cents. I don't know if you can see that. Network fee 4 cents right there. So that transaction sending $25 included a 4-cent fee. But to send it out of this wallet, apparently it would be 45 cents, because I've never made a transaction from this wallet before. All right. Another option I have to send Bitcoin out of the wallet is by pressing the send button, and I can scan a QR code of a regular Bitcoin address. I'm going to generate one of those codes with my other phone by pressing receive and then selecting Bitcoin at the top of the window. I'm going to press send, scan, and again, there it is. And I can write a note, and I'm going to do that, test. I'm not going to send this. I just wanted to check what the network fee was. Now you can see the difference between a Lightning payment, which was 4 cents, and the network fee of an on-chain payment to a regular Bitcoin address. In this case, it is even Taproot, which actually has a little lower fees. And the fee right now is $1.17 to send this very tiny transaction. So wonder if the blockchain fees must be a little high at the moment. That seems a little high. Anyway, that's the difference between Lightning. You can make Lightning payments all day and not spend $1.17 on fees. And that's what the Lightning network was designed for. I'm going to cancel this payment. Yes, go back to the main page. Unlike many other Lightning wallets, the Muun wallet doesn't require you to manage any Lightning channels or worry about inbound liquidity. It achieves this through what's called a hybrid approach. For many Lightning payments, Muun actually routes them through the Lightning network, just like any other Lightning wallet. These transactions typically have fees of just a few sats. However, when Lightning routing isn't optimal or available, the Muun wallet performs what are called submarine swaps. There's swaps from on-chain Bitcoin to Lightning and from Lightning to on-chain Bitcoin that occur in the background, thereby using your on-chain balance where all the funds are kept in the Muun wallet. They're not kept in the Lightning network, they're kept on-chain for security purposes to fulfill Lightning payments. So it takes some Bitcoin from your on-chain balance, swaps it to the Lightning network, and then sends out the Lightning payment. This happens automatically in the background, and you don't need to understand the technical details to use it. Here's what this means for fees. For a normal Lightning payment, you're going to pay around 1 to 10 Satoshis for a payment. For larger payments, or when the Lightning network is totally congested, you're going to pay anywhere from 1,000 to possibly even 10,000 sats for a fee. And for on-chain transactions, you're just going to pay standard Bitcoin network fees, as we saw in the demo transaction that I set up. Okay, now let's go through one of the most innovative features of the Muun wallet, and that's its recovery services. One for just upgrading your phone, or if you've lost your phone or replaced your phone, and one for situations where you want to take control of the Bitcoin in your wallet without any other third party. Let's go ahead and start by quitting this application, and I'm going to delete the app from the phone. Remove app, delete app. Then I'm going to download the application again from the App Store. MUUN. There we go. I'm going to open it again. And this time, I'm going to pretend that I replaced my phone, and I'm going to press Recover Existing Wallet because the wallet is gone or I got a new phone. The first thing I need to do is enter my email. I'm going to do that. There we go. Then I'm going to check my email and click on the link. And I'm sure it will ask me for the password at that time. Here's the email they sent me. I'm going to authorize access, press continue. And now it asks for the password. I'm going to enter the password, create my PIN, allow Face ID, and we're back in business. That's how easy it is to restore this wallet with the email address you're using and the password. Easy peasy. Now, let's look at the really neat way that you can sort of pull your Bitcoin out of the wallet without even using the wallet itself. Let's go ahead and head over to their GitHub recovery page and take a look at that. Okay, here we are at Muun Wallet's GitHub page, their main GitHub page, and what I'm interested in is the recovery section. So I'm going to click that link right there and enter Muun recovery page. If you scroll down, basically they give you a tool to be able to transfer your Bitcoin out of the wallet to an on-chain address without the Muun wallet involved. So let's go ahead and see how that works. Hopefully this will work. They call it a recovery tool. Transfer funds out of your Muun account to an address of your choosing. They have a recovery tool for every operating system. Well, the one we're interested in is this right here. I'm going to download it and go to the second step. So I'm going to go send it to my downloads. Okay, I've downloaded the file to my downloads, and I had another copy of it in my downloads folder, so I have to actually change the name. There we go. Recovery tool, Mac OS 12, ARM 64. That is good. Now let's go back to the GitHub page and see what the instructions are. They are right here. Okay, and then there's just some information about the security warning that we're probably going to receive. So we have to use our Mac OS terminal and execute some commands, simple commands in the terminal. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we are in the Mac terminal. I've customized mine for the channel, so you can go ahead and customize it to your liking. Anyway, what we need to do is enter that first command, and I'm going to copy that and paste it right here. All right, here's the first command right here, cd downloads. Actually, that's not really a command. We need to change the directory to our downloads directory, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, I'll list the directories, and then we have to change to our downloads directory, where we have that file. And there's the file. That's the first thing. We have to change a directory that we're working in to the directory that we downloaded the file to. I'm going to clear this, and here we go. Now we're still in that directory. The second step is to execute this command, and there's a spelling error here. There shouldn't be, but there's a spelling error. So if you'll notice, it says recovery-tool-macOS 12-AMD64. It's not AMD64, it's ARM64. Let's go ahead and check that file name just to make sure. There's the file, ARM64. So make sure you make that change and then press enter. Now that changed the file to a file that we can execute, not without a warning most likely. Okay, let's go ahead back to the GitHub page again and see what the next command is. The next command is right here, and that is to execute that recovery tool and give it the path to our emergency kit. So I'm going to copy this and paste it into the terminal. There we go. Okay, so this will execute the file that we just changed, except another spelling error, and then we need to enter the path to our emergency kit. So in order to do that, I'm going to try to drag it from the Finder to this window. So I'm going to go ahead and open my iCloud and drag the file in. Okay, here's the file in the Muun folder in my iCloud, and see what happens here. Wow, that is a long address, but let's see what happens. I kind of think it's not going to work. I'm going to press enter, and recovery tool not opened because it thinks it's a virus. So we're going to have to make another command before we do that one. And I'm going to be right back. I'll go grab that. Basically, that application is not signed by Apple, so it thinks it's a foreign application or a virus. And that's good because it's trying to protect the user, but we know that is legit. So we're going to drag the app into the window right here after executing this command. Right here, drag it here, and close this. We're going to turn off the quarantine, and then we're going to try to execute that previous command by pressing the up arrow. Again, we'll see what happens. Yay, it looks like it's working. So to recover your funds, you will need the recovery code, which is that long number I wrote down, and your emergency kit PDF, which we have in iCloud, and the destination Bitcoin address. I'm going to go grab that as well. I'll be right back. All right, the first thing it's asking for is the emergency code, the recovery code, which I'm going to paste in right now. Hopefully it will accept that. Then it asks for the destination Bitcoin address, which I have in the clipboard. Going to paste that in. There we go. Enter. Starting full scan of all possible addresses. This will take a few minutes. Finding servers, scanned addresses, no sats found yet. Hopefully it will find some. I'm going to cut the video here and I'll come back when this finishes scanning. Okay, the scan is complete. Unfortunately, it didn't find any funds in my wallet. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the fact that I received a single Lightning payment and it wasn't very long ago. I don't know if they've had a chance to move it on chain. I don't know if it has been moved on chain. The only thing I can do is scan again. Okay, I entered all the information again. I changed the location of the emergency kit. I'm not sure if, because it was an iCloud, that had anything to do with it. I don't think so, actually. But I bet you it has something to do with the fact that it was a Lightning payment and I didn't receive it very long ago. If I tried it tomorrow, maybe it might work. I'm not sure. But while that's scanning the second time, and I don't think it's going to find anything, let's go ahead and move on with the video. Okay, everybody, I just wanted to jump in here with some updated information on the Muun recovery tool and the problems I was having. After multiple back and forth emails with the Muun support team, thank you very much, guys. Great job with that. And they were very responsive and very thorough. They explained to me that on-chain transactions become available using the recovery tool immediately, whereas Lightning transactions take a while to settle back on chain from the Lightning network down onto the main chain and where they sort of reside in your wallet. So when you receive a Lightning payment after a certain period of time, which they didn't specify, and I'm not sure how long it takes, maybe days, maybe weeks, I'm not sure, the amount of Bitcoin you received via Lightning network is then transferred to an on-chain address, and then it is basically available to recover using the recovery tool. While it is on the Lightning network, of course, it is not available to recover via the recovery tool. So I was right in my assumption that it just takes time. So what I did was I emptied the wallet and I sent an on-chain transaction to the wallet of $25. It came to the wallet pretty quickly. And then I ran the recovery tool and it recognized every single sat perfectly, accurately, and they were available to remove from the wallet via this recovery tool. So the recovery tool works. The amount of Bitcoin in the wallet is accurate eventually. All on-chain transactions are accurate immediately, whereas the Lightning ones do have a little delay. Okay, just wanted to update you that everything worked out. All right, hope that helps. Bye. Okay, I'm sorry that wallet recovery didn't work out as planned, but it's actually a great segue into a discussion of the limitations, some limitations of this wallet. The biggest limitation of this wallet is that some transactions can have higher fees than other Lightning wallets. Here's when you'll pay different amounts. Most of the time, you'll pay normal Lightning fees. For typical Lightning payments under $50 to $100, you'll pay standard Lightning routing fees of between 1 and 10 sats, the same as any other Lightning wallet. Sometimes you'll have higher submarine swap fees. For larger payments or during Lightning network congestion, the Muun wallet triggers what are called submarine swaps that include on-chain fees ranging from 1,000 to 10,000 sats, depending on Bitcoin network conditions. Those submarine swaps are the Muun wallet transferring Bitcoin from the Lightning Network to on-chain or on-chain to the Lightning Network, and it incurs an on-chain network fee. And why does this happen? Because Muun stores all of your Bitcoin on-chain for maximum security, it sometimes needs to perform these submarine swaps, essentially converting your on-chain Bitcoin into Lightning liquidity behind the scenes. This process can trigger Bitcoin network fees, even for Lightning transactions. Submarine swaps are more likely in these situations when you're making large Lightning payments, typically over $100 to $200, or when Lightning network liquidity is constrained, or during periods of high Bitcoin network congestion, or when you receive certain types of Lightning payments that require settlement. The good news is Muun's interface always shows you the exact fee before you confirm any transaction, so there are never any surprises. Lightning wallets like Phoenix Wallet or Breeze Wallet that pre-fund Lightning channels can route small payments purely over Lightning for 1 Satoshi fees. Muun prioritizes security and simplicity over achieving the absolute lowest fees possible. For occasional Lightning users or those that value ease of use, the occasional higher fee is worth it. But if you're making dozens of small Lightning payments daily, a dedicated Lightning wallet might save you a little money. The second consideration you need to know about when you're using the Muun wallet are turbo channels. Remember that little toggle in the settings for turbo channels? That's what I'm talking about. These turbo channels significantly improve user experience, but come with a security consideration you really should understand. Normally, when you receive Bitcoin or open a Bitcoin Lightning channel, you have to wait about 30 minutes for blockchain confirmations before you can spend those funds. Turbo channels allow you to use received Bitcoin immediately without waiting for any confirmations. This creates a brief trust window where you're relying on Muun's promise that the incoming transaction is valid. While the risk is minimal, Muun would lose money if they allowed double-spent transactions. It's technically not pure trustless Bitcoin during that confirmation period. What I appreciate about Muun is their transparency here. They don't hide this trade-off, and they give you control. You can disable turbo channels in the settings if you prefer to wait for confirmations, and eliminate this trust assumption entirely. For most users, the convenience of immediate availability far outweighs that minimal risk, but it's important you understand the choice you're making. After using the Muun wallet extensively, despite this recovery hiccup, I can confidently say this is the wallet I recommend to both beginners and Bitcoin experts. Here's why. You have true self-custody with no seed phrase to worry about. There's seamless Lightning integration with no channel management. It's got a clean, intuitive interface that's super easy to understand. It's an excellent security model with multiple recovery options. It's got smart fee estimation to avoid overpaying fees. It's got open source code that anyone can audit and a responsive support team. The only potential drawbacks worth mentioning are some Lightning payments may require on-chain fees when using submarine swaps. Also, the wallet is Bitcoin only, so it doesn't offer support for any other cryptocurrencies. Some people might think of that as a feature, and some people might think of it as a bug. And it has limited advanced features compared to power user wallets. In my opinion, these trade-offs are worth it for the security and simplicity the Muun wallet offers. I hope you found this review helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video.